Did you know 60% of council candidates fear public scrutiny most? In this video, you'll master the top 5 interview questions for aspiring city council members, complete with example answers. Plus, discover how to tackle the critical question of responding to a natural disaster effectively. Here's a question that's crucial for city councilman candidates. Can you give an example of a time when you successfully engaged with a diverse community group to address their concerns? Interviewers ask this to gauge your ability to connect with a wide range of constituents and effectively resolve issues that matter to them. To craft a compelling response, keep these tips in mind. First, identify a specific group and describe their unique concerns to show your understanding of their perspective. Next, highlight how you used both formal and informal channels to gather insights. This demonstrates your thorough engagement with the community. Finally, explain how you measured the success of your actions, whether through metrics or specific feedback points you received. These elements will showcase your effectiveness and commitment. Let's take a look at an example that ties these elements together.
When I noticed increased concerns among the local immigrant community about public safety, I organized a series of town hall meetings and informal coffee chats to better understand their issues. Through these discussions, I learned that language barriers were a significant hurdle in accessing emergency services. I collaborated with local NGOs to develop multilingual resources and worked with the police department to offer community workshops. As a result, we saw a 30% increase in emergency service usage among this group, and feedback indicated a heightened sense of safety and trust in local authorities.
All right, let's switch gears and talk about leading a team to success. Here's a question that really lets you shine. Describe a situation where you led a team to achieve an important goal. What was the outcome? Interviewers ask this to see your leadership style in action and to understand how you drive results within a team. Let's dive into how you can nail this question. First, start by explaining why the goal was crucial to your community or constituents, as this frames the significance of your leadership. Then, go beyond just listing steps and explain your unique leadership strategy, which shows your personal approach to managing people and projects. And importantly, include a specific, measurable impact that resulted from your leadership, as numbers or concrete results make your story compelling and memorable. Let me show you how to put this together.
In my role as a city councilman, I led a team to implement a new recycling program. The goal was essential to reduce waste and increase sustainability in our district. I organized town hall meetings to gather community input and use that feedback to shape our strategy. My leadership involved creating a task force that worked closely with local businesses and schools to promote participation. As a result, we increased recycling rates by 30% within the first year, significantly lowering landfill contributions. This taught me the importance of community involvement in achieving municipal goals.
Now, let's dive into handling conflicts. This one's crucial for any councilman. In local government roles, conflicts are inevitable. Today's question is, tell us about a time when you had to mediate a conflict between two parties. How did you handle it? Interviewers ask this to assess your diplomatic skills and ability to foster collaboration in challenging situations. To really stand out, here are a few tips. First, identify each party's core interests, not just their positions. Understanding the deeper why behind their stance can reveal common ground. Next, use neutral language to avoid escalating tensions. Words matter, and staying impartial can keep discussions productive. And finally, reflect on what you learned to improve future mediation efforts. This shows your commitment to growth and adaptability. Here's what a strong answer sounds like.
I mediated a conflict between two neighborhood associations over park usage. The groups had different visions. One wanted more events, the other prioritized conservation. I facilitated a meeting where each side could express their key interests. By suggesting a seasonal event calendar with conservation periods, we respected both priorities. The resolution was praised by the community, and I learned the importance of balancing diverse needs to achieve a shared solution.
You've made it halfway through. Great job on tackling community engagement and leadership. Let's keep the momentum going for the rest. You're learning the questions, but knowing them isn't enough. Mock Interview Pro builds a city councilman preparation plan. You practice answering out loud, get real feedback, and sit through a mock interview that feels like the real thing. Link in the description. Now here it is, the question we warned you about, handling natural disasters. Here's a crucial question for any city councilman candidate. If our city faced a natural disaster, what steps would you take to ensure prompt and effective response? Interviewers ask this to gauge your readiness in crisis management and your ability to lead under pressure. When crafting your answer, keep these strategies in mind. First, leverage existing relationships with emergency services to streamline communication and ensure a coordinated effort. Next, demonstrate your ability to prioritize public safety and make sure your communication with citizens is clear and consistent. And finally, discuss the importance of conducting post-event debriefs to enhance future preparedness and show you're committed to continuous improvement. Let's see how you can put these tips into action.
In the event of a natural disaster, I would first activate our emergency response plan, leveraging our strong relationships with local emergency services to ensure seamless coordination. I would prioritize public safety by implementing evacuation protocols and communicating regularly with residents through multiple channels like social media and local news to keep them informed. After the immediate crisis, I would lead a thorough debrief with all involved parties to evaluate our response and identify areas for improvement, ensuring we are even better prepared for future events.
Finally, let's tackle how you'd handle significant budget cuts and prioritize services. Here's a challenging question you might face. Imagine the city faces significant budget cuts. How would you prioritize which services to maintain? Interviewers ask this to assess your strategic decision-making and understanding of community needs under financial constraints. Let's dive into some tips to help you craft a compelling answer. Start by identifying essential services that directly impact public safety and health, because these are typically the top priorities. Then, use community feedback to determine which services are most valued by residents, ensuring that your decisions reflect public sentiment. And finally, consider highlighting alternatives like public-private partnerships for non-essential services to maintain service levels without additional costs. Now let's see how these tips come together in a strong response.
When facing significant budget cuts, my first step would be to conduct a thorough assessment to identify essential services critical to public safety and health, such as emergency response and sanitation. Next, I would engage with the community through town halls and surveys to gather input on which services they value most, like local libraries or youth programs. For services identified as non-essential, I'd explore partnerships with local businesses and nonprofits to maintain them without overburdening the city's budget. This approach ensures that we maintain critical services while respecting community priorities and exploring innovative funding solutions.
Your interview is coming. Stop preparing alone. Mock Interview Pro builds a City Councilman preparation plan that adjusts to your timeline. Even if your interview is this week, it focuses on what matters most: targeted practice, AI feedback, and a live mock interview so you walk in calm and clear. Start your preparation plan now. Link in the description. In today's video, you gained insights into engaging with diverse community groups, leading teams to success, and mediating conflicts effectively. We also explored strategies for disaster response and budgeting priorities. Remember, preparation is key, and with these tools, you're ready to excel in your interview. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing for more tips and tricks. Go crush that interview.